All right, here we go. Okay, hopefully everybody can hear me, see me. Let me check my Facebook page. So how's everybody doing today? Thanks again for joining another weekly coaching. So it looks like we're all good. So I'm going to go ahead and jump right into it. This will be recorded, obviously. People can check back later for the replay. So referral bootcamp, this is a quick one, about 30 minutes a day maybe. So really, a lot of agents say they ask for referrals, they run their business by referral, but according to the National Association of Realtors 2019 profile of home buyers and sellers, 90% of home buyers say they would use the realtor they use to buy their house again, but only 12% do. Okay, so you do that survey right after the closing. Yeah, it's awesome. That experience was great. I would use you again, no problem. But 5 years later, when they go to sell, they don't call you. Why? Because you don't stay in touch. So really, the purpose of this class is to teach a proactive approach for effectively staying in flow with the people that who know and like you, right? We always talk about you want to work with people that people are going to work with you if they know you, like you, and trust you. So you've already sealed the deal, right? You've already got them to the closing table. So why are you leaving this business literally on the table after you walk out of the closing room and you never talk to them again, right? Never ask for referrals, never get repeat business from them. And we're not just talking about past clients, we're talking about sphere of influence and your friends and family, coworkers, things like that. So again, just be proactive. You can't just sit back and expect them to give you referrals. You need to be proactive about going to your sphere of influence, your past clients, and just ask for referrals, ask for repeat business. We're going to show you how to do that today. So it's really about staying top of mind. Expectation after this class, you should feel confident enough to solicit your friends, family, and past clients for referrals and repeat business. And the result will be a substantial increase in your total revenue. Sorry if I seem a little disorganized. We had a closing here at 9, so I kind of rushed in here and got set up like it's 2 minutes before we went live. So. Let's go. So we talked about the operational model. This is the same operational model that you see in all of the momentum programs. The operational model here is, it starts out with your source. What is your source that you're prospecting to? So here your source is your network, right? Your network is your friends, family, coworkers. If you go to church, your fellow churchgoers, your past clients, your friends of your past clients. Everybody, they say that the average person knows about 200 people. And so we think that at least every past client or everyone in your sphere knows at least 5 people that are going to buy or sell a house this year. But if they don't stay top of mind, if you don't coach them and train them to be looking out for referrals for you, then they're not going to do it, right? They might have the person in the cubicle next to them at work that just bought or sold a house, never even crossed their mind to mention your name. Why? Because you didn't ask. So we're going to prospect to our network. We're going to ask for referrals. We're going to let them know, hey, I'm never too busy for your referrals, right? The cliche line. Referral and repeat business. You're going to convert them. You generate the lead as your referral and repeat business. You can convert the referrals to sellers or buyers. Put them in your client care systems, and then, of course, market to that past relationship through just sold signs, mailings, just listed signs. So once you have that seller, you're going to get some just listed postcards out. You're going to get more listings that way. When it's just sales, you're going to put some just sold direct mails out. You're going to get some more listings that way. So constantly putting new people in your business. A lot of agents will tell you they work 100% by referral. That's not really a sustainable business model. I call it bullshit, right? No one works 100% by referral. Unless you're semi-retired and you're on your way out, you're in your 50s, you're in your 60s, and you're like, I'm only going to take referrals. That's fine. You're on your way out. Anybody that's starting their career or just in going strong in their real estate career, they're not working 100% by referral. It's not sustainable. It's not possible. If you can prove me wrong, I'll be happy to hear it. But if you're in your 30s or 40s and you're in the prime of your real estate business and you're working 100% by referral, I want to know how you do that, because I don't believe that's a sustainable model. You need to have a mix of referrals, repeat business, and new business coming into your pipeline all the time, because that new business brings in more referrals, right? So your business should constantly grow year over year. If your real estate career business is not growing year over year, then you've stopped at some point, you've plateaued, and we need to find out why you plateaued, because if you've reached a point where you're selling 40 or 50 houses a year and you've done that for 5 years and you're comfortable there, fine. But most people that means you're turning away business, because as you close more deals, you should be getting more referrals. Just by the fact that you're closing more deals and getting more referrals, your real estate business should be increasing year over year. So a good mix of new business, referral business, and repeat business should be more like 50, 40, 10. 50% referrals, 40% new leads, and 10% repeat. Those people that are coming back to you. So we're going to work on that. We're going to coach these people how to give us referrals, and we're going to keep growing year over year over year until you get to, you might get to a point where you're like, you know what, I don't want to build a team. I don't want a buyer's agent. I'm happy with myself and one assistant. I'm good doing 60, 70, 80 transactions a year. That's where you want to stay. That's perfectly fine. Not everybody needs to be a team leader. Not everybody needs to be a broker owner. Stay where you're at, stay where you're comfortable, stay where you're happy. But if you feel a desire to keep growing, then you really need to work on getting new leads in your system, but also working your repeat and referral business. So Referral Bootcamp teaches the 33 Touch program, which assists agents with increasing referral and repeat business. You'll learn how to proactively stay in flow, stay top of mind with friends, family, and past clients through mailings, phone calls, social media. The plan, scripts, and mailers are provided here. Now, 33 Touch has been around forever. It's not a RE/MAX program. It's not a Keller Williams program, although they claim it is. 33 Touch has been used for decades by marketers, not just in real estate, but in other types of sales business. It's just a way to stay in touch with past clients to get referrals and repeat business, right? 33 Touch, we're going to go over that. And it's not the only method. It's a method that works, and we know that it works, but it's not the only way to do this. So this is the one that we teach. There's a lot of different programs out there. There's a lot of things you can put on autopilot. You can go hire a company to do this for you. Just send them your logo, send them your headshot, and they take care of it for you. Except for the phone calls, you need to call people yourself. That's part of the personal connection, right? You need to call your past clients. You can't hire that out, unfortunately. So, but again, it's not the only method, and maybe not even the best one out there. Maybe there's something better, but this is a proven method that works. So that's why we teach this one. So what are the new know, do, and have of the 33 Touch program? You prospect to your network. What do you need to have? It's the 33 Touch program. You need to have the call list. You need to have the mailers. You need to have the birthday cards. These are the have is the physical things you need to have. What do you need to know? You need to know the permission dialogue. When you call them, you ask for permission to ask for leads from them. So this is really simple. Know, do, have for the network and sphere plan. Everyone you know knows at least 5 people that will buy or sell this year. That's the truth. Everyone knows at least 200 to 250 people. That's a proven fact. So you'll just Google it. And those people know, those 200 people know 200 more people. So everyone you know probably knows at least 5 people that are going to buy or sell a house this year. So why are you missing that business? Let's dive deep into that today. So who are the people that are going to refer you business? Your advocates. We also call them raving fans. If you've done any of the Workman Success training that we do here. Raving fans, people who get mad when their friends and family use another agent. When they hear that someone they know used another agent, oh, why didn't you use Amber? I can't believe it. I told you how awesome Amber was. Why didn't you use her? Those are your raving fans, the people that get angry when they find out that someone they know used a different realtor than you. So those are your raving fans. People that know you, people that like you, people are evangelical about you. They won't stop talking about how awesome you are. They wouldn't do business with anyone but you. They come back to you year over year. That's such a great feeling when I've got some clients that I've done, we had the first set of the family, then they referred their brother, then they referred their parent, then that person referred their cousin. Then, so I have some of these referrals that go 8 to 10 people deep based on the initial contact. And it's just a great way to run your business. And it's emotionally rewarding because you feel awesome because, wow, these people referred me. Over the years, I've done 10 transactions for this family. And it's not just about the money. It's about knowing that someone knows you and trusts you with a real estate business is more rewarding sometimes than the paycheck. But we love the paycheck, right? But it's nice to know that people trust you. And people don't necessarily refer people; they refer results. How often does it say, "Hey, yeah, Jeff, he's a real cool guy. He dresses nice. You should use him." No, they don't do that. Like, Jeff sold my house for full price in 3 days. That's what you hear, right? You don't hear how nice you are. Oh, it's so great looking at houses with you. It was fun hanging out with you. Remember that one time we went to lunch after showings? That was cool. No, Amber worked really hard for me to find me the house I want, got me a great price in 4 weeks of looking, closed the deal in 3 weeks with the lender. That was the result. They refer results, not necessarily people. Give them results and they'll refer you. Another group of people you should be marketing to your network for referrals is your friends, family, and acquaintances. Again, people who know you and like you. Hopefully your family likes you, right? Given the opportunity, they would do business with you, and given the opportunity, but given the opportunity, they may do business with others. If they don't know, they always say don't be a secret agent, right? Don't hide the fact that you're a real estate agent, especially to your friends and family. Nothing hurts more emotionally than when you find out someone you know, or especially someone in your family, use another realtor for their real estate transaction. If it's outside of your market area, fine, whatever. They didn't come to you for a referral for another agent, whatever, big deal. You missed out a referral fee. But if someone's in your market area and you could have sold them a house or you could have listed their house and you find out they use someone else, it feels terrible. But who's to blame? You are. Like it or not, you're the one to blame because you didn't ask for referrals. And one thing I've learned over the years, because I've had this situation happen to me with a friend or an acquaintance, or maybe someone I went to high school with, they used me for the real estate transaction. I always tell people, don't use me as your agent because you feel obligated to, because we know each other. Use me as your agent because you know that I'm the best person for the job. So let that sink in. You tell your friends and family, don't use me as your agent because you feel obligated to, because we know each other. Use me as your agent because you know I'm the best person for the job. Because here's what happens. Someone uses you because they feel obligated to use you. They don't listen to you. They don't take your advice. They don't trust that you know what you're doing. In their mind, they're using you because of a relationship, like, oh, you're my cousin, you're my uncle, whoever, you're my niece, you're my aunt. They're using you because they feel they have to, right? They're not using you because they know what level of professional you are. They don't care that you sold 50 houses last year. They don't care that you sold 100 houses last year. They feel like they're using you because they're obligated to, not because you're the best person for the job. So have that conversation up front, because you don't want the business, right? Don't use me because you feel like you have to. Use me because you want to. And if you don't want to, then you're free to go somewhere else, because that's another transaction that ends in a bad deal for everybody. Another group of people you should be talking to, your past and present working relationships. Past buyers, past sellers, for sale by owners you've talked to. Remember the FSBO Bootcamp? You can ask for referrals from that for sale by owner. Hey, you know what? You probably have a lot of people coming through your home. You mind if I leave a stack of my cards here for the home buyers? Maybe they're not represented. Maybe they would like to work with an agent. Try to get referrals from for sale by owners. And people that you participate in all listing and buyer conversations with. If you have a listing appointment and they don't use you, they use someone else, keep them on your 33 touch. Just put them in there, because what if that listing expires, right? They want to keep in touch with you. You can mass market mail to people without it being any kind of violation. So just keep that in mind. Buyers, sellers, FSBOs, and everyone you've talked to about listing or buying, put them in your 33 touch program, even if they don't use you for business, because people move every 5 to 7 years. So just because a buyer didn't use you doesn't mean they're not going to use you 4 years from now when they decide to move again. Just because a seller didn't use you to list doesn't mean they're not going to come back to you if that listing expires because they picked the wrong agent, right? All of this 33 touch program is not designed to create network members. It's designed to keep you in top of mind of the people that you already know. All right, so let's dive into it, the actual 33 touch program. So 33 touches a year. It doesn't stop after the 33 touches are done, by the way. So this is a year-over-annual thing. So the consistent mailers are the first 16 touches. So mailer must be, and depending on what company you're with, if you're with Remax, you have Design Center, you can jump in there and make postcards pretty easy. You can hire this out. There's a company called Quantum Digital that I use for my just listed and just sold cards. It's an easy one-button thing. Hey, you got a new listing. Click here to send out 100 of them. Fine, that's easy. You can also set up 33 touch. Just go on and Google 33 touch program. You'll find a half a dozen different companies that'll do this for you. So some of the aspects of this program need to have a personal touch. You can't hire out a handwritten note. Sorry about it. Handwritten note needs to come from you. Phone call needs to come from you. So the first 16 touches, consistent mailers. Be professional appearance, be of value, and be consistent. Mailed every 21 days. What do most agents do? They send something every month or every quarter. Every 3 weeks. You're going to be on it every 3 weeks. Recipe cards, home ownership tips, inspirational stories, newsletters. And it doesn't have to be a postcard. It could be a newsletter, right? Just sold. I know an agent out in Colorado that his just listed and just sold program goes to his past clients in his sphere of influence. It doesn't go to the neighborhood. it goes to his past clients in his sphere of influence to constantly remind them, like, hey, I sell real estate. Hey, guess what? I sell real estate. Hey, guess what? I just sold another house. Hey, guess what? I just listed another house. Okay, everybody knows that Mario sells real estate because he sends a just listed and just sold card to every one of his past clients and everyone in his database. That's a really great idea. Feel free to take that and run with it, because then you're not really trying to come up with content, right? You're constantly touching your past clients with mailers every time you get a listing or every time you have a sale. Recipe of the month, quote of the month, home ownership tip of the month, all kinds of ideas. And again, if you don't have time to do this, if you don't have an assistant or an admin that does this, just Google it and find somebody that does the mailing part for you. They'll put the mailing part on autopilot with a company that does that. Then you can focus on the other personal things like the birthday cards that we're going to talk about next, the handwritten notes that we're going to talk about next. So there's 16. Now we have 2 more touches for birthday cards, assuming it's a couple. So we're just basing this on an assumption that it's a couple, husband and wife, partners, whatever. It doesn't matter. 2 more, so that's 18. 2 birthday cards. Mother's Day and Father's Day card, only, of course, if they're mothers and fathers. Maybe they have pets they feel like a mother and father for. That's fine. Do that, whatever. So now we're up to 20. 16 consistent mailers, 2 birthday cards, 2 Mother's Day and Father's Day cards. So there's 20. Holiday cards, 1 a year. Not every single holiday, 1 a year. Pick a holiday that's important to you, or pick a holiday that you think is important to them. It could be St. Patrick's Day, it could be Flag Day, Veterans Day, Christmas, any national holiday. Pick one that you feel, and it could be a different one for each client, right? Maybe you want to do Veterans Day for a veteran. Maybe Hanukkah, Christmas, whatever you feel appropriate for that client. So there's another one, 21. So then 8 touches, thank you, or thinking of you cards. Send a thank you card for a referral or any personal contact. Handwritten note from you. Handwritten notes need to come from you. It's called a handwritten note from you. It should have your handwriting. Send thinking of you card when no referral has been received in a while. They've got 8 of your consistent mailers, over 24 weeks, and they haven't sent you a single referral. Send a note. Send a handwritten note. Hey, just thinking of you. Curious how did your summer go in the new house? Just curious how your family's been. I know Jimmy was going to college. How did that work out? Whatever it is. Keep obsessive notes in your database so you remember 5 years from now what you guys talked about. Everything you talk about when you have a phone call, put it in your notes in your database so you know if little Jimmy went to college, where he went to college. Hey, Susie graduated from University of Michigan. That's awesome. Whoever went to Ohio State, whatever. Keep obsessive notes in your database, because guess what? You might think you're going to remember 5 years from now, but you're probably not going to remember 5 years from now and 200 transactions later. So just keep that in mind. Keep obsessive notes in your database. People love handwritten notes. Do you like getting a handwritten note? I do. When a lender sends me a handwritten note, when the title company sends me a handwritten note, another realtor, hey, it was great doing business with you, sends another handwritten note. I love getting handwritten notes. Everybody does. So do the same thing for your clients. They're going to love it. So now we're up to 29. That's 29 touches. And the last 4 are 4 phone calls. Again, phone calls you have to do. Put your consistent mailers on autopilot with a company that does those for you. Do your own birthday cards. Do your own Mother's Day, Father's Day cards. Do your own holiday card. Do your own handwritten notes, and do your own phone calls. So that gets us up to 33. Call each person in your network 4 times a year. Every quarter, put it on your calendar. Do it all at the same time. Depending on the number of past clients you have or sphere of influence, if you have 500 people to call, you're not going to do them on January 1st, April 1st, etc. every time. You're not going to go through 500 people that quick. And we're not going to call everybody. So let me back this up a little bit and say, we're not calling every single person in your database. You're going to make a list. We're going to talk about making your list in a minute. You're going to make a list of the people that you think, first of all, they had to have a great experience with you. We're not going to call people and ask for referrals if something went wrong, right? Because sometimes things go wrong that are not your fault, but you get blamed for, right? We've all been there. Raise your hand if you've been there. A lot of times things go wrong in the real estate transaction that were not your fault, but you get blamed for it. We're probably not going to ask for referrals from them right away. Maybe we wait a couple years for that to cool off. Or maybe we just put them on mailers and not phone calls. Who knows? But so call each person that you're going to call 4 times a year. It always has a reason for call them. So we're going to talk about the permission phone call in a minute. The gem call. Hey man, I got a great deal. I got a gem of a deal. Do you know anybody looking to move in the Sand Creek School District? Or is anyone looking to move in your neighborhood? Things like that. That's even great if you list a house in their neighborhood. You can call them. That's one reason to call. Hey, I just listed a house in your neighborhood. Do you have any friends or family that want to move by you? because a lot of times that happens too. Giveaways, sport tickets, etc. Movie tickets, movie rentals online. I guess with today's environment, with everything closed, you could do maybe buy if you know they're into UFC fighting, buy them a UFC pay-per-view package or something like that. The thinking of you call. Again, hey, I was just in your neighborhood showing homes and thought of you. How's it going with the house? They sold you a couple years ago. Thank you call is a referral. Hey, thanks for the referral, Bob. Showing Bob homes this week, and I really appreciate the referral. Thanks again, and always happy to take care of the people that you know, and I appreciate your trust and confidence in my abilities. And of course, the home purchase anniversary every year. Whenever their home purchase anniversary, hey, you've been in your house a year, been in your house 2 years, been in your house 5 years, ready to move yet? Most people move every 5 to 7 years. You want to list your house? You're just curious what it's worth? Those kind of phone calls work great. Especially in today's market with prices coming up like crazy the last several years. A lot of times people have no idea what their home is worth, right? They have zero idea. If they knew how much their home was worth, they might want to upgrade, especially with low interest rates right now. So maybe take that little tidbit of information with you today and go out, go to some of your past clients that closed 3 to 5 years ago and tell them, hey, are you just curious, what your home is worth? Another good one is to say, hey, let's make sure that you're properly insured, on your homeowner's insurance. Do you know what your replacement value is? If you want, I could do a quick market analysis just to make sure that you're properly insured. When they bought their house for $175,000 5 years ago and they learned that it's worth $250,000, they might say, geez, wow, we can move up in house and we can get a lower interest rate at 2.5% right now, because right now we're at 4% where we're at. We could buy a $350,000 house for the same payment. It's crazy, right? So those are some good ideas to call, or feel free to put your own list together of reasons to call. Every client's different of what's important to them. The permission call. So this is the first one you're going to do. If you're just starting doing this and you have 3 to 5 to 6 years in the business and you have a long list of past clients that you haven't talked to in 3 or 5 or 6 years, this might seem a little bit awkward at first. It's going to, why are you calling me? I haven't talked to you since you sold us a house 5 years ago, right? So, hey, Bill, this is Jeff with Remax. How's the family? How's the job? Great. So we talk about the F-O-R-D, the Ford dialogue: family, occupation, recreation, dreams. Hey, Bob, how's the family doing? Your kids were just heading to high school a couple years ago, and we sold you the house. How are they liking the new school district? Occupation. Hey, Bob, how's work going? I think you were talking about maybe getting a promotion last time we talked. You just got a promotion. How's that been going for you? Recreation. Hey, Bob, you guys do anything fun this summer? I know you guys have a camper. Are you going to camping trips? Dreams. Hey, have anything big coming up that you guys are looking forward to? Any big vacations? Is Billy going to college? Where did he decide to go? So family, occupation, recreation, and dreams. It's a great icebreaker. If you haven't talked, or anytime you make a phone call, this is a great dialogue to use, but especially now if you're trying to call people that you haven't talked to in several years. So the reason I'm calling is because I attended a seminar the other day and I learned that this is your seminar, so you can use this, blame me. Hey, I attended a seminar the other day and learned that every person I know will know at least 5 people this year who want to buy or sell real estate. Well, that got me thinking, why don't I just put together a list of people I know that wouldn't mind helping me grow my business? And your name is one of the first people that came to mind. Would you be offended if I put you on that list? So again, you're just asking permission to put on the list. You don't want to say, would you be offended? Or you could say, hey, I'd like to add you to my list of top 50 clients. Is that okay with you? You can rephrase that last line any way you want. I don't know if that comes off strange to people. Hey, would you be offended if I put you on my list? Well, of course they're going to say no, they're not offended, but that might be a little bit off-putting when you phrase it like that. So, you know your audience, right? Every time you do something, know your audience. So, figure out, hey, how's that going to be interpreted by the person I'm talking to right now? Maybe I should say that differently. Hey, would it be okay with you if I put you on my list? Like checking me every now and then. Remember, people don't know that they should send you referrals unless you ask. They don't know where your business comes from. We all assume that our past clients and our sphere of influence know that we strongly work on referrals. That's one of the biggest part of our businesses, but they don't know unless you ask them. If you have a team and bring on new people, this is great for building your sphere of influence by adding theirs. My team members are required to bring in 50 people with them when they join the team. You need to bring 50 people with you, because if you ever leave the team, those are the 50 people that are leaving with you. No one else. Everything else is a team lead. But you grow your database and grow your referral base by having your team members add their sphere of influence into your system. Hey, would you mind? Can I add you to my list of my top 50 clients, people that are going to send me referrals? Is that okay with you? If they ask, well, what's involved? All that's required is that you let me know when you hear of someone wanting to buy or sell a home, and you refer my name to people asking if you know a good realtor. Great. Is that okay? Awesome. Yeah, for sure. Okay, great. I also want to stay in contact with you through mail, and maybe even give you a phone call every now and then. Are you okay with that? Of course, they're going to say yes. Or they say no. Stop. Don't call me. Great. Hey, you know what? Just so I can update my database. When is your birthday? When's your birthday, Bob? Okay, great. How about Jenny's? When's her birthday? I want to keep a note here. How about the kids? When's their birthday? You want to keep all this information in your database. Best to get this when you first take in a buyer or a seller. I suggest you have some kind of buyer or seller kind of intake sheet. Get all of their information, names, birthdays, kids' birthdays, anniversary. All that kind of stuff is always an opportunity for you to reach out and connect with your past client. So try to get all that stuff. So that's our 33 touches. 16 consistent mailers, 2 birthday cards, 2 Mother's Day, 2 cards, Mother's Day, Father's Day, 1 holiday card, any holiday doesn't matter, 8 thinking of you or thank you handwritten notes, and then 4 phone calls throughout the year. So simple enough, right? So setting it up. If you're just doing this and you're not brand new to the business, but you've got a few years of past clients in your database, you're going to want to maybe spend some time with this. Anytime you have a system that's worth setting up, it's going to take a little bit, right? So don't get frustrated. Don't put this on the shelf waiting to do it because it's going to be hard to do. Yes, it's going to be hard to do when you first set this up. It's going to take maybe 5 or 10 hours of your time, dedicated, undistracted time to set this up. But make the time to do it. Create a list of names. If you don't have this, if you haven't done this and you have 50 past clients, again, it's going to take time. So create a list of names. Make your initial call, your permission call to all those people. That's going to take some time as well. Especially if you get some clients that are talkers, right? You might think you're going to be on the phone 2 minutes, you're on the phone 20. So make sure you're dedicated time, undistracted, shut your email, put your phone on Do Not Disturb. Don't be answering text messages when you're talking to people because people can tell when you're not paying attention. So on dedicated time to making your phone calls. Put these in your database. They should be in your database already, whether you're using Lead Street, whether you're with a different company that has some of their CRM, whether you buy your own CRM, whatever you use, that you should already have your past clients in there. Mail the 8 and 8 campaign, optional. We're going to talk about the 8 and 8 in the next couple slides. And mail a thank you or thinking of you cards daily. Every day, go through your database, send 5 a day. I'm going to send 5 handwritten notes a day. You're going to get through those. Every day, make it a commitment. That's what Brian Buffini teaches. You're going to send handwritten notes every day. If you have an assistant, have your assistant go in your database, pick, do alphabetical order, do close by date, whatever you want to do, make 5 a day. Or if you got a database of 2,000 people, then 10 a day, whatever you need to do to get through them all. Have your assistant put 5 or 10 on your desk, stamped, written, addressed envelopes. All you got to do is handwrite the notes and stick it in and mail it. So again, if you have, make your list. If you have a huge list of past clients, then go through and pick the top 50 that you think are more likely to send you referrals. We're not going to send to people that we had a bad experience with us, or we had a bad experience with. Like maybe you have a past client that was a jerk that you don't want to work with again. Don't include them on your list. Remember, we're going for quality over quantity. Just because you have 2,000 past clients doesn't mean we're going to market to 2,000 people. You're going to market to the people that you think are more likely to give you referrals. So what is the 8 and 8? Again, the 8 and 8's been around forever. I don't think any company can really claim ownership of it. But there was a company called Hobbs Herder. You can look at HOBBSHERDR, hobbsherder.com. And several decades ago, they did a survey. It's a marketing company, and you can still go to their website. You can buy mailers. You can buy all this stuff if you go to their website. And they surveyed a neighborhood back when they had phone books and you could call people, right? They surveyed a neighborhood, several different neighborhoods around the city that they were in. They asked people, hey, if you were going to sell your home today, what realtor would you use? And they got a whole bunch of different names. Like there was no one dominant name over any of the other names that they had. They had a whole list of a bunch of different realtors' names. So they wanted to do a test. They did a little study, right? They created a fake realtor. They put together this 8 and 8 program. It's a mailer a week for 8 weeks, one a week for 8 weeks. They put the fake realtor on it, fake name, the phone number went to their office, the email address went to an email they set up. They did this mailer a week for 8 weeks to these neighborhoods. Then they did their survey again. They called all the same people again and said, hey, if you were to list your home today, what realtor would they use? And the majority of the people named the fake realtor that was on the postcard that they sent one a week for 8 weeks. So direct mail works. Don't let anybody tell you direct mail doesn't work, because it does work. It needs to be quality. It needs to be noticeable, because you know what they're doing with it the first time they get one? It needs to be big. They're looking at that on the way to the trash can or the recycling, and they're just dropping it in, right? So what do they need to do? They need to catch your company name, your name, and maybe your website before it hits the trash can. But they do that over and over again, and they're going to start keeping it. Like, oh, Amber sent me another mailer. That's awesome. I'm going to call her. They're going to remember you. Stay on top of mind. So this is just the 8 and 8 is a good program to use if it's a seller that hasn't committed to working with you, or if it's a buyer that hasn't committed to working with you. Or you can use this for geographic farming for a neighborhood. Put a mail list together. Again, go on one of these websites that offers this direct mail service and pick the 8 and 8 program. Upload a mailing list, and they can do that for you. It's a great it's a great foot in the door, for lack of a better term, right, to get into a neighborhood. Because if you want to start geographic farming in a neighborhood, what do? You're going to send a mailer every month it's going to take 3 years before that sticks, right? But if you're going to send one a week for 8 weeks, that cuts off the first 2 years of marketing to that neighborhood. So if you've already made a name for yourself in the neighborhood, then you can put these people on the 33 Touch program. So you can check that out, look it up. Hobbs Herder, that's the people that kind of did the survey to see the effect of direct mail on geographic farming, and they found out that it worked really well. So these are all examples. If you don't have the booklet, message me here on the page. I'll email you the PDF of this program, so you can look at what the postcard 1, postcard 2. So these are for sellers, 3, 4. I'm not going to go through all these. You can read through these. I'll send you the packet. And if you look online at any of the companies that do this, they'll have their own things suggested. You can modify them. So there's 8 postcards for sellers for 1 a week for 8 weeks. There's 8 postcards for buyers for 1 a week for 8 weeks. And that's really it. Thanks for watching today. So Referral Bootcamp, people don't know that you take referrals unless you tell them. If there's one thing you take away from today's class, take that away with you. You need to ask for referrals, because people aren't going to give you referrals if you don't ask for them. Remember, 90% of people, after they buy a house, say they would use their realtor again that they bought the house with, but only 12% do. That's a legitimate statistic from a survey that the National Association of Realtors did for their 2019 profile of home buyers and sellers. Look it up. 90% of home buyers say they would use the same realtor again, and only 12% do, because they don't remember the name of the person that sold them the house 5 years later. That's a fact. So don't be that person. Build your business by referral. Keep new business coming in, but you need to make referrals about 40 to 50% of your business, and you'll be doing fine. But you need to keep bringing in new people in, because remember, your real estate career should go up year over year. 30 transactions, 40 transactions, 50 transactions, 60, 70, 80. Maybe you get to a point to where you build a team. Maybe you get to a point to where you don't want to build a team, but you plateaued at 70 or 80, you hired an assistant. You're good with that? That's awesome. Stay there. But your real estate career should be growing year over year, just due to the fact that you have a ton of past clients that should be sending you referrals, but they're not going to send you referrals unless you ask for them. So ask for them. Watch this recording later if you missed the whole thing. If you need the booklet with the postcard suggestions and everything, all the information, message me here on the page, and I will send that to you. So have a great Thursday. Have a great weekend coming up. And remember, start your day with gratitude. Have a great day.